Okay, here is a little craft project I am doing. I have my Celtic tree oracle cards, which have the tree name, or the Gaelic name, the tree, as well as the Ogham symbol on the sides, and they also have the month, which I need to actually add on here. I haven't decided where I'm going to add it. So I am going through and doing these. I purchased a bag of miscellaneous flat pieces of wood. It comes in 3 sizes. There's I'll show you the comes in those 3 sizes, and this is the tag. It says wood pile. 135 rectangles. If I can find this on eBay or on Amazon, I will put a link to it. You can see it was $2.99 at Hobby Lobby, plus I had a 40% off, so it was just under $2 to purchase all of these. And so I have all 25 here. In this size, I also have 25 out in this little size where I'm just going to put the symbol and not the names on it, just because how cute is that? And I may end up needing to do one of these little bitty teeny ones just because I love little bitty teeny things. We shall see when I'm done with these. I picked up this stamp at Joann Fabrics. Again, use my coupon. You can see I'm just using part of it because these are smaller. And I am stamping that on the back. I'm just writing on it with distress marker, Jim Holtz. I do have ink pads, but I find this to be easier just to be precise. And so I'm stamping those on the back. And then on the other side, I'm writing Beth and the figure and then birch. And then I will be somewhere adding, probably upper right hand corner, the number for the ones that equate to the months. The Celtic months. So I will probably be adding those in. I didn't think about that, but that's probably information I would like to have. So you can see I have done, there are 5 sets of 5 in Celtic Oghams. The 5th one came about later than the 4 standard ones. So some sets, when you go to look at buying wood sets, don't have all 25, but because I used this deck forever, literally this was my 2nd deck that I ever had, and I did many readings with this. I am quite used to those 2nd set of them, and so I certainly want those in there. So when I was looking at some decks, I was like, well, I can probably just make those. Obviously they're not as pretty as some, and I had thought about wood burning them in because I do have a wood burner, but the last time I did that with a set of these, it didn't look good because wherever the wood burner would go, I ended up with a little dot, and it just didn't look good. So I decided for this set at least just to write them on, and I think that they are quite lovely as they are. And so what I'm doing, I decided to show you what I'm doing. So I have finished the first 2 sets. So now I'm going, so what I've been doing is doing 5 at a time just to kind of keep things from being too monotonous. And so I'm using the Jim Holtz distressed marker in black soot. I was going to get a different one, but you could only get them in sets. So then I'm taking my piece and I'm kind of eyeballing where I've been putting them. I'm not worried too much about it. Pressing it down and making sure I get a nice even thing, and then there we have it. And then just giving that a chance to dry, I'm just going ahead and doing that with 5 before I start writing on the backs. I thought of doing like a really dark green or something, but again, because you can only buy these in packs of 5, and I didn't need 5 markers. I had this black one already, and so I thought, I'm not going to pay for it when I have this black. So I'm just going to try to get through a set just so you can see what I am doing in case this is something you want to do. They also had round pieces of wood, which I was kind of going initially to look for, but I really liked this format. I liked the thinness of the pieces. That one I'm a little low down on. I can tell by how where it's at here, but again, I'm really not stressing on being exact. Like that's the first one that has been a little bit too high. So I probably have, let me look. I've kind of got the best pieces out. This one's not bad. So I'm going to redo that one, but I'm going to set that aside in case I end up needing it because I mess something up worse. Like I said, I'm not being overly concerned about how precise it is, but I want it to be, you know, as nice as possible. Let me set that a little better. There we go. And I know I'm probably really jiggling the camera. I do apologize. That's better. I don't think if I have some coat of like mineral oil that I used with my cigar box guitar that I made, the neck of it, that I may put on these, but I don't know. I'll have to do that on a tester to make sure it doesn't smear the, I don't know if it will smear the ink. I'm not sure about that. But which isn't a sealer because I really don't want to varnish on here, but that is like an oil that might, again, just kind of finish the wood off without giving it too strong of a varnish or anything like that. There, so now I've done 5 of those. So then I'm turning them over, hopefully you can still see, and I'm using the medium tip of Faber-Castell Pitt pens. This is India ink. It's the M for medium. And I tried out a couple different ones because I wanted it to still be kind of thin the way this was, but also viewable. So I'm writing at the top, M-U-I-N, and Vine at the bottom. And then I didn't need to, but I am putting the top, you know, sometimes on Oghams you see these little legs, because that way if you don't have the name showing you which way is top and bottom, you're being sure you know which one it is, because there are some point this way, some point this way, but if you don't know where top and bottom is, you don't know which one that is. Now, because I have the names, I don't need that, but I'm used to those being on there, so I just went ahead. So this is the first of the slanty ones. This is Ivy. And I'm not measuring out like how far each one, how long each one is. I'm not being that precise about it. And this is Reed. This has 1, 2, 3. This is STRAIF. Now this is a longer one, so I think I'm actually going to do black thorn, so I don't end up having to just squish it on there. I have plenty of room. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one is this, which is Elder. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see, oops, let me flip these over so you can see the fronts and the backs. So there, and I have this set here. Oops. As well, and now I'm going to go into this fifth set, or fourth set obviously, and then I'll come back and show them to you. I just wanted you to see how I was going about doing it. Okay, so now you can see I have them all done. Let me zoom in a little closer so you can see them. And how cute are they? I'm actually really happy with them. I think they look fantastic. And look at, they look great on the table. Now obviously these would go into a basket. Now the way I learned, because I really learned how to read Oghams, I know they're really Oghams, they're Ohms. I just so used to saying Oghams. So because I learned to read off of a very specific reading pattern, this actually works really well, because in the way that I read, you set up 5 rows of 5. And you start to grab, I'll show you with, I'm going to do a walkthrough next actually of the Celtic Tree Oracle. That is a book, deck that you can still get on Amazon. I think it's changed a little bit since the version I've had, because I've had this one for quite some time now. Just after I got my first tarot deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So how I learned to read is placing. Now you can cast these and simply grab. I would grab 5 because that's again how I learned how to read. But you do this. You randomly grab 5, put them back in a different order. Randomly grab 5 more. Put them back in a different order. Randomly grab 5, and then you have the 3 circles of layers of 5. So you end up with a 15-card reading, and that's how I generally have learned how to read Oghams. Or Oghams, excuse me. So I could still do this with this in actually a very concrete format. Or, you know, again, you could simply pull, now from the way that I would pull for, if I was just going to do a 5 card, is I would, let me see if I can show you a quick picture. Again, I'm going to do a walkthrough of this deck. Let me see if I can find the paper. Here we go, or the page. So this is how I read with the first circle, second circle, and third circle, and then you have the different positions. Here you have, on the top one you have north, south, east, and west. You have earth, fire, air, and water. You have Phallius, Phineas, Glorious, Murius, and the glass castle in the middle for the way forward. But depending on how I was doing, if I was going to read something for the past, read something to the future, but I would probably just grab up 5 and do 1 for the north, 2 for the south, 3 for the east, 4 for the west, or just grab them out of a bag. Obviously I already have these down. 4 for the west, and then into the center I would put 1 for the center. And then I would go about and read these as, you know, go ahead and read these. I'm not going to do a whole reading thing, because again, I'm going to do a walkthrough of this deck probably tonight after I get a little bit more work done, and so you'll see more information on how I have learned to read with Ogham. And then the reason I wanted to make these is because I've been meaning to do a review of this, and then I recently finished my Will Worthington collection with the Green Man Tree Oracle, which is same thing, 25 cards, each of the trees and the ohms on the cards. And so I thought I was going to, you know, pull 1 a day from each of these cards, and it's, you know, have this there as a kind of image so I can just kind of go through each of the Oghams to refresh my memory, and just, you know, fun thing to do. And so that's why I decided to do these. So I just wanted to show you that if you wanted to get an Ogham set, this would also work really well, obviously, for a rune set. And so you could also do a set of runes that way, which, you know, I could even do that with the smaller set. If I wanted to, or even with this little bitty set. So, you know, there's different applications that you could use for this. You could also do a set of geomancy figures as well, and you'd need to do 4 to do a good geomancy set. You need 4 of each figure to be able. That's the most that you could get show up in a shield. So you would need to have 4 times 16 in order to get that out. I did 25, obviously, with a couple testers. I still have out of this pack, and again, I'll try to find the pack on if it's on. I still have more, but they're rougher pieces. Like some of the pieces weren't as nice as others. Like that's kind of broken on the side. And so there were still some. Same thing with the small or medium size. Not enough, I don't think. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. I could do a set of geomancy figures, just only 1 set, but that really doesn't do me any good to do anything with. So you're pretty much, it looks like, would be able to get 1 set of runes or Oghams out of each size, and or do both. Like you could do a set of runes and a set of Oghams on a smaller size, and then something else with the little bitty ones, which I haven't counted out. Look at how cute the little bitty ones are. I haven't counted those out yet to see how many, but I'm assuming it'd be similar. So yeah, there we have it. I just thought I would show you how you could pretty cheaply. Again, I paid $2 for all of these. I paid $5 for this particular stamp. You wouldn't even have to use a stamp. I just liked the idea of having a backing. And so this I paid $5 for. I already had a Pitt pen, but you can get these for $2 or $3. And I already had this. You can again use a regular stamp pad as well. I just had this already, and you probably, if you have a stamp pad laying around, you wouldn't have to do anything else about it. So usually we have some kind of a either permanent marker or something that we can use to write. If you have these pens, it actually does have a writing side on it and a brush side. Or you could just use a stamp pad and a permanent marker and not have to buy anything extra besides possibly this and this. And so for me, this project ended up costing $7 to have. What I'll end up with is 2 sets, and then so basically 3 different size sets depending on whatever I decide to do with them. So that's a pretty good deal, and is something personal. I do think with runes and Oghams and things of that nature, making them, going through that process of making them yourself is a really nice, there's intention behind it that I think becomes part and parcel of the divination system. And so yeah, so I just wanted to show you how to do that in case you were looking to start working with Oghams or runes and wanting to make your own set. So have a wonderful day.